Hello, we're glad that you've chosen to look at this video. I'm here with the three members of the editorial committee for a new book that Increase has been working on for over a year now, and we'd like to tell you a little bit about this book. But first, I'd like to ask the members of the editorial team to introduce themselves briefly. David, do you want to start?
Sure. Hi, everyone. So my name's David Burke. I come from Australia. I've been a pastor teacher since about 1979. That's included time in Southeast Asia, in Singapore, and also in Australia. About half my life has been leading churches. The other half, and often alongside, has been involved in ministry education. And my big passion is ministry education at the global margins.
Thanks. Richie, just a brief word about you.
My name's Richie Brown, and I've been involved in TE since 2008, and helped to pioneer one of the TE programs in Central Asia. And so, yeah, it's become an increasingly big part of what I'm involved in, and also my wife. And yeah, we're just delighted to be part of this book project.
Thanks, Richie. Brother Kessa.
Hello, friends. My name is Kessa Julius, and I'm based in Lahore, Pakistan, and work with the Open Theological Seminary in Pakistan. And I've been involved with the TE program for the last 20 years. And it's really a privilege to be part of this editorial team for this book.
Thank you. So, David, can I ask you, please tell us the title of this new book, and why did Increase want to bring out another book after TEE in Asia?
Sure. Good questions. So the title of this book is TEE for the 21st century. TEE in Asia, which I've got a copy of, just don't have right here, and which I think has just been republished by Langham the last few days before this interview. It addressed a particular audience with a purpose. We felt there was a need for a book that was going to communicate with a wider audience. What we think that TE is such a great thing, particularly as it's been reworked in more recent years. TE is such a great thing that we think there's a blessing to the whole church, the whole world of theological education. So we want to catch the ear and catch the eye of kind of bishops and presidents of seminaries and moderators and people like this, all kinds of levels, so that people see that TE's got something in it for everybody alongside other approaches to theological education. This book is aimed at a scholarly level. That means there's lots of footnotes, which we've had to check through. It's multi-authored by people who are experts in various fields. Most chapters have got two authors, and it's designed to bring a scholarly, multidisciplinary perspective, both to reflect on TEE and its intellectual foundations, to talk about how it's developed in recent years, but also to open a conversation. We want people to read the book and come back to us and tell us how TEE can learn from the wider world, as well as the wider world learn from TEE. So we're pretty excited. We think it's a book whose time has come. COVID-19 has exposed all kinds of fractures in ministry education, and we think TEE, cometh the book, cometh the hour.
Well, thank you, David. I can see you're excited about it.
Sure.
We're going to have to keep this short because we only got 12 minutes. Richie, could you lead us through the structure of the book and its contents? Just give us an idea of what kind of areas it covers.
Sure. The book has three main parts. The first part is called setting the scene. So here we, set up the reason for the book, an introduction, a glance at TE, looking at today's challenges in theological education, and why the case for TE is a valid one to look at. The second part of the book is a multidisciplinary perspectives on TE. So here we really get into the meat of the book, looking at theological perspectives, educational perspectives, missiological perspectives, historical and sociological perspectives. So really bringing these different disciplines to speak into TE world today. And then the final section of the book is really responsive chapters by different authors from around the world. They read the first two parts of the book, if you like, and are now responding to it. And they bring perspectives from the global church, from global theological education, and also from other TE movements around the world. So they share their perspectives there. And then the final section, which we won't forget, is the appendices. And there we'll have some sample TE lessons to give readers a bit of a taste of TE, and what the next steps for them might be if they want to get directly involved with it.
Thank you, Richie. So it really sounds as though there were quite a lot of people involved in this book project. Kessa, can you give us just a bit of an idea of maybe how many and where they were coming from?
I think is the main contributors, who contributed as writers, like 24 people. And if we include, the reviewers and the proofreading people who helped us, in this book, then I think there are many. So it's wonderful, they are from all over the world, I think from all regions. So in that way, it is kind of a global project, I would say. And the people who contributed, and they were from many, they came up with many expertise and scholars and, the educationists, and the way, they contributed is wonderful. So I think they came up with their rich experience and the expertise. So I'm very much optimistic that this book is going to be really helpful.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Kessert. It's great. So when might this book actually be published? Richie, what do you think? And who's going to publish it?
Well, yes, it's going to be part of the Langham ICET series. And yeah, so we're hoping it'll be published November, December, in time for the International ICET conference, which will be virtual, I presume. Yeah, so we've made our target deadline so far, and we're trusting that we'll make it to the big publishing deadline also.
Yeah, so the manuscript's gone off to Langham, the publishers, and it's basically with them now, and that's great. That's a real milestone for us. Very exciting. David, let me ask you, suppose someone asked you, who's watching this, what's in this book for me? Why should I read it? Briefly, what would you say?
If you are someone who's leading or involved in running a TE program, we hope you'll read the book and understand more of the foundations and the thinking that go behind TEE, and that will equip you to help adapt TEE for your particular context as the 21st century goes by. So we hope it will lead to increased understanding and practice within the TEE community. Second, we hope to catch the attention of church leaders who are facing the problem. How do we equip the whole people of God, not just the clergy? How do we equip the whole people of God for God's mission? And we hope they'll see that TE is a partner with them in that project and useful. Likewise, for people who are leading campus-based theological institutions, which is where I teach, sometimes TE and the campus can be seen in conflict with one another, whereas we want to emphasize there's a partnership. There's gains to the seminary, if you like, and there's ways in which the seminary can feed into TEE. So for those three audiences, they're going to be different things.
That's brilliant. Thank you. And going forward, let me ask each of you, what do you think folk who are watching this video could be praying for good fruit from this book? How would you encourage people to pray? Let's start with Brother Kessa. What would you encourage people to pray?
I think especially as David, mentioned about the collaboration between programs and how they can come together. And I'm very much excited that, after this book, then we are going to see more collaboration between the church-based and, the campus-based training programs.
Yeah, that's a great thing to pray for, isn't it? Richie, what would you say?
I would say immediate needs, yes. Just to pray for the final editing and proofreading process, as Langham now steers it towards that publishing date. So that would be great. And then also for this, for the influence of the book going forward, that it will be a great influence for the TE movement, for the, for God's glory, and for the equipping of the saints in discipleship, and fulfilling their purpose, the church's purpose, as we go forward.
Thank you. And David, finally back to you.
Yeah, look, all along as a team, we'd be concerned that the book glorifies God. How will it do that? We hope, our prayer is the book will glorify God as it strengthens the church for the mission that God has given to it in his great work of renewing all things in Christ, and that the book will help equip the saints for the work of the mission that God has given to us. So that's the big prayer, that God is glorified. It's not about TE, it's not about increase, it's God being glorified through his mission.
That's wonderful to hear. Members of the editorial team who've been guiding this book, TE for the 21st Century, through to this stage of its development, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.